Hello and welcome. Organizations can greatly improve the reliability, safety, quality, and overall effectiveness of their equipment by practicing continuous improvement. However, sometimes there are basic design flaws in the equipment that are too technically challenging or costly to improve. It's not always enough to repair, restore, and correct existing equipment. We must also expand continuous improvement into the design, procurement, and commissioning of new equipment and capital projects. Fortunately, the Early Equipment Management pillar of TPM provides a framework for addressing these issues. Early Equipment Management, or EEM, is an approach for maximizing the efficiency and lifespan of equipment by integrating maintenance and production considerations right from the earliest stages of equipment design. EEM applies the same logic and principles of TPM and continuous improvement to all stages of design, procurement, delivery, and commissioning of capital equipment. The scope of EEM includes defining the equipment requirements to meet business goals, conceptual design through detailed design, procurement, fabrication, testing, installation, and handover to operations. EEM also plans for the eventual decommissioning of equipment at the end of its useful service life. This allows us to account for the entire life cycle cost and capture lessons learned for future equipment design. In some cases, organizations may expand the scope of early equipment management to include product development and design. This is often called early management when it's not exclusive to equipment. The idea of EEM is to capture and address problems as early as possible in the design or project development process when they are easier to resolve. Let's review the 5 main goals of early equipment management. First and foremost, the goal is to reduce the life cycle cost of equipment. In the traditional approach, acquisition cost and the delivery deadline for new equipment take priority over all else. However, this often fails to take into account various running costs such as maintenance and repair, space, energy, and labor productivity. These are largely determined during equipment design. In fact, between 80% and 95% of the life cycle cost is determined during the design phase. This makes it harder to reduce costs that are built into the design once the machine is built, installed, and running. By investing time and effort early in the development process, EEM helps minimize LCC by making sure equipment is easy to change over, operate and maintain, rarely breaks down, avoids accidents and defects, and is highly productive. In other words, EEM considers the entire life cycle of the equipment, from design and procurement to decommissioning. The second major goal of EEM is to help us achieve vertical startup. When we install equipment before it's ready, we find many problems at the commissioning stage, causing startup delays due to troubleshooting. By addressing potential equipment issues at the earliest stage, we can reduce the number of startup issues, stabilize the process, and get new equipment running at target performance level faster. The third goal is to manage the many potential risks inherent in complex projects to design, acquire, install, and operate new equipment. Common examples include unrealistic requirements for the timeline or budget, design flaws, missing specifications, or costly late-stage changes, and failure to identify issues early, leading to debugging equipment after handover to operations. We must also proactively manage our response to problems such as cost overruns or schedule delays, so that we don't compound them by cutting corners, rushing to accept test results, or sign off the project before it's ready. The fourth goal of EEM is to strengthen cross-functional collaboration. In the EEM approach, engineers, operators, maintenance staff, equipment vendors, and others work closely together from the earliest stages toward a common goal. Collaboration is not only essential for designing better equipment. These skills are transferable to all areas of the business. In addition, research shows that many equipment management issues arise from gaps in communication between functions. These include misspecifications, releasing resources to the project too late, missed opportunities to upgrade technology or to optimize flow, equipment arriving before the site is ready, failing to address issues known to operators or maintenance, etc. Early communication and effective cooperation with equipment vendors is also crucial to avoid project cost overruns, to leverage their expertise, and to secure the availability of spare parts and support. The fifth goal of EEM is knowledge capture. As we can see, the root causes of many major problems with equipment projects are not technical issues, but relate to people and how we work together. It's not enough to improve collaboration and communication. We must also systematically capture and unlock the tacit knowledge of project team members and standardize the lessons from each project. This is essential so that we learn from experience and don't repeat our mistakes. Early equipment management accomplishes all of this through a cross-functional team effort across 5 phases of activity, using detailed checklists and stage gate reviews. In summary, EEM is a crucial component of TPM that focuses on early detection and prevention of equipment problems, leading to improved productivity, quality, safety, and reduced lifecycle cost. That wraps up our review of early equipment management. We'll see you soon.